يا عباد الله هبوا ونداء الحق لبوا فاعبدوه مخلصين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our dear viewers, welcome to Stories of Devotion. Stories of Devotion is a program where we get a chance to hear some faith-inspiring incidents from the life devotees and missionaries of Jamaat Ahmadiyya worldwide. In fact, today we are going to have Sheikh Abdul Rahman Hasaba. Sheikh Abdul Rahman Hasaba is a serving missionary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. He is currently serving as the area missionary of Luwaf Jamaat in Kampala region. But since 2010, he has served in various Jamaats of Jamaat Ahmadiyya Uganda. He started from Jamiatul Mubashirin, Uganda. He also served as a regional missionary Kampala region and some other offices in the Jamaat. Today, we have him on this program, and welcome the program, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Sheikh sir, as
Yes, sir.
We take a journey into your story of devotion, I would like to go back a little bit and know how Jamaat Ahmadiyya entered into your family, please.
Thank you very much. As you have heard, our viewers, I'm Hasaba Abdul Rahman, serving missionary of Ahmadiyya Muslim community, Uganda. I'm a son of Mr. Muzammiru Matumbwe, who is my father, and my mother is Mrs. Naviri Rukia. Those are my parents. And my father embraced Jamaat or Islam Ahmadiyyat in the early 80s, but to be exact, that was the year in 1986. In this period, there happened to be a vigorous Tabligh campaign in this country, Uganda, especially after the return of our current Amir from Pakistan in those early 80s. So it was during that vigorous Tabligh campaign that my father also, that the message of Ahmadiyyat reached in our village or in the region of Kamuli region by Sheikh Kasim Saba. Is the one who was instrumental in converting our father, or my father. We are, by the grace of God, we are 13 children born of these two parents. But by the grace of God, the whole of our the family, we happen to be members of the Jamaat Ahmadiyya by the grace of God, Alhamdulillah. So briefly, that is how Jamaat Ahmadiyya came into our family, and we have that opportunity that we are still enjoying the blessings of Ahmadiyya in our family.
Alhamdulillah. Sheikh Sab, you told us how the Jamaat entered into your family. And
Yes, sir.
I'm very sure that before joining the missionary training college, you pursued the secular education.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you tell us a bit about that?
I started my primary school. Of course, I covered the primary section in the school called Bugulus Primary School, which is just the next village after our own, about 7 kilometers away. But that is where I had my primary school. Then after that, I joined the secondary section in Namaira Parents, where I covered 3 years. Then later on, in the final year of O level, I did it, or I had that in St. Paul, or St. Paul Senior Secondary School in the senior 4 that year. After that, then I went to Jinja City, where I had my A-level. That is Advanced Certificate of Education for the 2 years. Then after that, I started my A-level in 2 different schools. That is Chira High in Jinja, and also Jinja, it was called Jipra, that is Jinja Parents, in Jinja still. Then for some years I stayed there. But before before this, after my A-level, I came and joined the headquarters of the region, that is Jinja region, and that was the time when our current Amir was the regional missionary there. So I stayed with him for some time, about 1 year or 2. Then later on, he was transferred, and for me, I stayed there for some good time.
So after your secular education,
yes,
still you are pursuing your secular education.
Yes.
You came to the headquarters
yes,
of the Jamaat, and you studied with the regional missionary. At what point in time at all did you change your mind from secular education to the religious education, and what drove you to change your mind?
To go back a bit, I'm blessed that most of my time, I spent my time with the missionaries. I spent very close pace with the missionaries, especially the names of Sheikh Ahmadi Kagabe, Mubarak Kagabe, Sheikh Hassan Tamzade. These people, I kept around with them right from that age, where in the time when we are still young, that those people were our missionaries who used to visit us from time to time. So I developed that close relationship with the missionaries, and later on, as I said, I finally ended up with, the current Amir, where, as I told you, that finally after completing my A-level, I joined him there at the mission. Then, while there, of course, I used to listen to him, used to give very fascinating kind of durus or lessons, especially during Ramadan. Even the Sunni Muslims used to come to our mosque and listen to those glorious words of the missionary who used to give the different daris. And one passionating thing there was that during those durus or darises that he used to give, they were so touching that they were not only about the Quran and the God and the Holy Prophet, but some of them, I remember my junior brother, who is Mr. Othman Mugabe, he was doing science subjects like biology and agriculture. But during those lessons of the current Amir, or this missionary, Haji Muhammad Ali Kaire, he used to make notes of biology and geography and thought when that missionary was teaching.
So all these lessons were from the Holy Quran?
Were from the Holy Quran. Different areas of, sciences from different areas, but based from the Holy Quran. So from there, I said, now I want to learn many things pertaining the world. But I see this missionary, when I hear about his stories, he said, we are told that he left when he was still a small boy, when he went to Pakistan. He was still so young. But now if in the Jamia or in the Ahmadiyya University in Pakistan, where they went in Rabwa, if that is where he got all this knowledge, then I just feel that is, if I happen to go there, and become a missionary also, maybe I will have access to such information. So that encouragement, I mean, that kind of picture which I got and that conviction that I developed at that time, it went a long way in convincing me that becoming a missionary, I think I will have quite a wide spectrum of knowledge. So from there, of course, this missionary was transferred later on, and he went to a different region. Then another missionary came in, that was Sheikh Sulaiman Sewanyana, who came in 2005. We stayed with him for some time. And finally, during Huzulu's visit in that same year, that is 2005, many things changed. That this man, the regional missionary of Jinja, he again spent most of the time with the Amir at Kampala. Now I was there with this other responsibilities of seeing to it that the preparations of Huzulu's coming go on well, and that was the time when Huzulu came, and we welcomed him very well, and things went on well.
And that was in 2005?
That was 2005.
So how did you change? At what point in time did you change your mind to go and specialize in religious education?
Yes, very good. As I gave you the other background, I will not go back again. But with that conviction, in this very year, in 2005, I sacrificed 1 month. In December of 2005, I sacrificed a month, because the other years when I stayed there, I never had the chance to study the Holy Quran. Different missionaries, as I mentioned, they were coming. One would teach you about 10, 12 pages of Yasarina, then he's transferred. Later on, another one comes in. Again, he's also transferred. So in that condition, I decided that in 2005, that whole holiday of 2005, December, I devoted 1 full month only for the study of Yasarina, the Quran. And that was after Huzulu's visit that, again, some transfers of missionaries was made. And Hafiz Elias Chisawe, who is currently regional missionary of Masaka region, he was transferred there. And having the fact being that he's Hafidhul Quran, I took that special interest that I should learn the Holy Quran from him. So that's why I decided to devote that whole month for the learning of Yasarina, and by the grace of God, I was able to complete that Yasarina there. Now, early 2006, that is the time when I was hoping to go and join the university or any other tertiary institution of the secular education. But then Sheikh Hassan Tamzade even had gone ahead to pursue or to lead me in getting a position or a vacancy in that place, in any institution. And he told me, after some 1 month or two, that yes, now you get prepared and go. The principal of UCC Tororo has called me that you will be going very soon, like in 1 month time.
So your admission was accepted?
Was ready already. Yeah. But within that same period, that's when I decided that no, I will not go in for worldly professionalism, but I want now to go and join the missionary field.
So it's very interesting.
Yes, please.
That you had already secured a place in the university.
Yes.
But at that time, again, you suddenly changed your mind and you wanted to pursue the missionary.
I went to missionary university.
How did your journey to the missionary life to the missionary field start?
Yeah, as to started, of course, by the near I made, that is the peace of the mind. I changed my mind that now if I'm to pursue the university study, I should do it in the religious section. Now, after making up my mind to join missionary life, I mentioned it, and now I aired my feeling, which was in my heart, to these close missionaries that I've mentioned earlier, that is Sheikh Tamzadi himself, who was leading me to the other sexual education. I told him, no, Sheikh Sab, I'm no more going there. I've changed my mind. I want to join you in the field where you are. Because I felt a missionary is, his life is much more of being close to the people and always guiding people here and there. So I enjoyed that situation.
Did he find it easy to change his mind also? Because he's the same person who secured the place for you to the university.
Yes.
Now you are giving him that sudden news.
Yeah, of course, being that he is such a successful missionary also, he could not do anything other than encouraging me, and he welcomed the idea instantly. So he told me, oh, if that is what you have decided, then it is good. You join, you go. And then the current missionary who, as I said, who was Hafiz Rias, who taught me the Yasarina, I also told him finally that this is my mind, which I have now. He said, he also encouraged me that whatever it is required, just find out. In case you need any recommendation or what, he also just encouraged me. And that is how I started the journey to Jamia. Yes.
Can you briefly tell us how it was in a foreign land, and you had to stay there for almost 3 years in order to acquire whatever you acquired from there? How was it in Jamia, Ahmadiyya, Ghana?
Yeah, but before even going to Jamia, some challenges started right here. That when we were in Rabua, because our Jamia started in our place, Rabua there, which in the Chiboga region there, which also life there was also a bit tough. But we were able to go through that kind of life. Then it was during our time that the Jamia Tumbashine was transferred from there to Seta, where it is situated now. But the challenge I was mentioning here started when when we had been selected from among those few students who were there at that time to go and join Jamia Ahmadiyya Ghana. The process of acquiring or obtaining the passport was so challenging to me that we used to go and put in our applications many times. They will tell you these pictures were not good, this and that. Then after all that, about 2 months, I used to walk from the headquarters to go to internal affairs to check on the passport. It took me a lot of hard time, always traveling on foot about 7 kilometers every day. But the desire I had to go, I really even cried before God that, oh God, don't let this chance go without me being part of it. So later on, God answered my prayers, and I was able to acquire my passport, and we went to Jamia. We went there. We went a bit late because of that problem that the passport was not very easy to achieve, and it was the first arrangement of that kind of missionaries going there for those studies. So there was no system. That's why I found those problems there.
So by the grace of Allah, now you got your passport.
Yes.
You are in Ghana.
Yes.
What transpired there?
In the first place, we went a bit late, about when the semester had started about 2.5 months later. That's when we went. We were worried that maybe we shall find a lot of difficulties, especially as we had gone late. But by the grace of God, we got that advantage that we were able to catch up very fast. And we had acquired at least some elementary studies which we got here was of much benefit to us. We had covered the learning of the Holy Yasarina, and some good number of hadith, and some those basic things, at least we had them. The only kind of difficult time in a foreign land was that the climate there, the weather was so harsh compared to our motherland here in Uganda. Temperatures were so high. We went on with blankets in our bags and all that, but we could not use them. The temperatures were so high that we could not even cover ourselves during the night. Yes.
Now, after summarizing
yes,
what transpired in Ghana, in the want of time, I want now to come back to Uganda.
Yes, please.
You have served in areas like Jamiatul Mbashirin, as I said in my prelogue.
Yes.
You went to Busu region in the...
Busu Jamaat, by then it was Iganga region.
Right.
Yes.
And you have served in many regions, many Jamaats, in the Jamaat, Ahmadi Uganda.
Yes.
So just tell us, what was in your mind when you were coming back from Jamia? And how did you find your first days in the field of mission?
Of course, when you have just, or when you are still in Jamia, maybe you, basing on the other experience where you see missionaries enjoying with, cheering up with the people, maybe you also have a lot of expectations that maybe when I complete, I will be that. But then when you get into the field, there are quite a number of challenges that you don't have choice, that I want to serve here. Immediately when I returned, in the first place, I see you when you return, you who returned later on, you are given 3 months of leave just to relax and come back to your normal conditions. But for me, I only rested, I think, for only 2 weeks. And I was called by the Amir of the time, Mr. Sheikh Inayatullah Zahid Sahib. He told me to come back after 2 weeks. I came to the headquarters. Then he sent me to Jamia for about 4 months. Then later on, he sent me to Busu. But that experience of Busu, my first deployment outside there, was a bit challenging. That I was sent in the evening. I reached there around 5 o'clock in the evening at the regional mission headquarters. The missionary who was there welcomed me. He gave me some small entertainment there, some glass of water. After then, he sent me to that particular Jamaat where I was to stay in Busu, but it was too late in the evening. I reached there as if those people had not been called that somebody would be coming, or missionaries coming. When I went there, there was no arrangement. No one was there waiting for me. A new place, the mission house locked. I had to look for where the chairman of the mosque, where to get the key. It was really a terrible kind of situation. But that was my first deployment there. Now I had to go to the neighbor, who was even not who was a non-member, a Christian of Christian faith. But there was a small boy who came, and he used to head up missionaries, those who come there normally. So it was that boy who helped me to find where the chairman of the mosque was and to find the key. Now, it was around, by that time, it was around 8:30 in the night. So that's the time I got the key. Entering the house, it was full of dust, in very poor condition, no mattress, no what. There was only a piece of wood, like where you find a door, actually. it was a door which I put on a frame of the bed, and I slept on that, put on the wood for some time, because I had no money by the time I was sent there. I could not buy a mattress until after getting the allowance.
That was your first?
That was my first experience.
And it was a very good experience.
A good experience in the life of a missionary.
We are actually, time is not on our side. But what I want you to tell our viewers is your relationship with Khalifa in this field of the missionary.
Actually, I strengthened my relationship with the Khalifa quite before I went to Jamia. I had started writing to him. But I frequently wrote to him, especially when I was in Jamia. For one very important thing I remember in this is that I was so passionate. I had very serious desire of learning how to recite the Holy Quran. My tongue was not so good, especially in pronunciation of these hurufs. But then when I was there, I wrote to Huzul frequently that he should pray for me, and I become at least very fluent in recitation of the Holy Quran, and I become one of the good people in the country, actually, those who can recite the Holy Quran, and not only that, to teach it. Then he used to pray for me most of the time, and so after that, I strengthened, that strengthened my relationship with him so much. And with those prayers, actually I've benefited almost all what he prayed for me. I have exercised and I have gone through all those blessings, I've got them. So furthermore, on the same kind of, the relationship with the Khalifa, I've strengthened it so much that even in the year 2011, he experienced a sad moment when he lost his beloved mother, Hadat Sahibu Zadi, Nasra Begum Sahiba. Then during that sad moment, I wrote a letter of condolence to him, and he answered back. He received that letter and he answered me. He sent back his reply to me, but it was containing very passionate kind of words. When you read them, I always read that letter. But I feel like I was sitting with him and talking to me as a brother or as his own son. That letter, I still have it, and I cherish it so much.
In one or two words,
yes, please.
As we conclude, how has MTA helped you as a missionary?
MTA has done a long way, has gone a long way in really establishing my faith and strengthening it more, especially when we have, especially those international jalsas. We used to have, from the very beginning, we used to have those jalsas, international jalsas, when Huzulu is there. I used to call my members to come together and we listen as a Jamaat. We look at the jalsa, we do different proceedings, and that has helped me to strengthen the relationship with the Khalifa, even connecting the members directly to their Khalifa, which has helped me in a lot of tarbiyat of the members. And even khutbahs, we do carry that program that when the Khalifa's khutbah is going on, the members are always there, that immediately we listen together as I take a summary of the khutbah, then after which I do always the translation to the members. And that has also helped me to strengthen the relationship with the members.
Rahman, as we conclude,
yes, please.
Do you regret becoming a missionary? Because some of us take enter certain fields, but later on we regret. Do you regret becoming a missionary? And what last words would you give to our viewers?
Actually, for your information, I don't regret being a missionary. On the other hand, my prayer always has been that, oh Allah, enable me to serve this Jamaat, to remain a missionary, serving missionary till my death. That has been always my prayer. So, and do you know the reason for that? When I go back to my home village, when I look at my OBs and the OGs, the old boys and old girls, whom we started with in those elementary levels of education, I see that most of them are struggling with life. Some of them even look very old, as if they are my fathers. But when they look at me, they even appreciate and say, ah, my friend, you also send us there. They think we are enjoying money, but what is good with the missionary life is that you get that kind of satisfaction that the little you get, you feel like it has been given to you by your God, and you are happy. And the condition which was there before, people used to underlook or to look down upon the missionaries, but now the condition of the missionaries is quite better, and I would simply urge that our parents in Uganda here and elsewhere, they should always encourage their children to become servants of God. Welcome, sir.
We would like to be here for the whole day to listen to Sheikh Sabu's inspiring incidents. But really time is not our best ally. Till we come your way, may you stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.